How have you been preparing the team, obviously with them all off in the off season and around and about? How have you been preparing them? Have they had the chance to talk together as a team yet, or?
So we've only spoke on WhatsApp group messenger as such so far. We are meeting tomorrow actually, for the first time on like a video call. But in terms of off season, obviously I've had communications with individuals and with the team as a whole, sort of doing all the logistics side of things, making sure the paperwork's up to scratch, and then and then setting a few individual things for people to focus on. As everyone's aware, a lot of the players are, they have a lot of demands on them at the minute in terms of, the international ones, the British players, the box, everything that's going on. I've sort of, I understand that, and from a coach's perspective, I've let them focus on that. That's obviously their priority at the minute. I don't want them being pulled from pillar to post too much. And then that's why, tomorrow I'm meeting as a team for the first time, because now we've got a couple of weeks building up to it. Now we can solely focus, or everyone can solely pull together in the same direction now and focus on the task in hand that's ahead of us in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, looking forward to it, really.
How different is it for you as a coach preparing for a tournament such as this than what you're kind of used to, I guess?
Loads, to be honest, and sort of one of the main reasons why I wanted to do it. I need to get some experience. Obviously, got aspirations going forward, and this is sort of my exposure to sort of like tournament style lacrosse, international sort of level lacrosse, and that higher level lacrosse. So loads is different. Really enjoyed the coaches meetings with Mark. So yeah, that's been really interesting in terms of developing my own game, coach's side of the game. Sorry, and then I'm actually meeting Rob tonight, the assistant. Later on, sort of to plan the schedule. Now we've got the schedule of how the weekend's going to look. Sort of planning, making sure we know the players have got enough downtime, and making sure in the downtime we're doing something productive in order to win the tournament, of course. So that's a new perspective thing I need to be exposed to and learn from. And yeah, really sort of being just on the coaching side of things is loads different than players. I've realised it's a lot simpler. You just turn up, do your job, and as long as you do your job, you're doing okay, sort of thing. Whereas a lot more pressures on you as a coach. So yeah, a lot more stress, but something just as rewarding.
Yeah. Is there sort of any of the players that in particularly on the team that you're excited to work with, or any of the other teams that you really want to beat, sort of thing?
Yeah, of course, there's other teams that I'm definitely wanting to beat. I don't know whether to share. I might share them. I will share them actually in a bit. But yeah, in terms of like players, I'm in the fortunate position that it wasn't long ago I was playing amongst some of them, and I'm pretty much in the loop with a lot of things, in NEMLA and also at England Academy. So I've come across a lot of the players before. Definitely excited to work with all of them really. But obviously, when I realised I was coach of Team Rise and that my captain Ryan Hunns, I was extremely excited to obviously be part of that team and work alongside him in order to make sure we retain the championship. So yeah, definitely looking forward to working with them all. But yeah, in particular Ryan, who's been great so far as captain. And then team I'm looking to beat is actually game one, first day. That's the team I'm after, sort of Rick Gartside and Team Swift, because he coached me at England under 23s, and obviously it's always good to get one over on a previous coach. So yeah, that's the one I want to win the most, but we're going to win them all, so I'm ready.
Yeah, a lot of pressure to retain that title.
Yeah,
but it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
We've got a strong team.
Yes.
So I guess what do you think? You kind of spoke about what you've learned, what you will learn, and it's your exposure. But what will you take from this event, kind of once it's said and done? No matter what the result is, what do you think you'll take most from it?
Obviously loads. I'll take loads away. First thing that comes to mind is working with multiple you know, players that are outside of my club. Obviously, I've grown a lot of the players I coach at the minute. You know, I've played with at club, and I've been around the club for so long at Stockport. But obviously, working with people that come from different parts of the country and different clubs and have different mentalities and different personalities, you know, bringing those guys together to make sure we're all working on the same page to achieve the same goal is something that I definitely will learn a lot from. And there's obviously players within the roster that have played at a higher level than me, and you know that's something that's a challenge because obviously they've got their expertise and they probably know parts of the game much better than I do. But you know, as a coach, it's about, you know, drawing on those expertise and using them to the team's strengths. So definitely working with multiple people is something I'll learn from. And then obviously they're just like the tournament structure of the 3 days and being at a venue that I don't know. Um, that's definitely something that's playing on my mind. Like I don't, you know, just a certain thing. Obviously we've got a diagram of what it looks like, where to go, and but you don't know until you're there in terms of all the logistics, and obviously I don't want that sense of panic. I want to be in control of the situation. I'm sure after a day I'll pick it up, but obviously that exposure to a new venue, new environment, is something that you know you got to adapt to your stress levels of that, making sure you know you're ready to optimize the team's performance on the weekend. So yeah, those couple of things stick out the most.
And kind of, I guess, just finally from me, I know Jason might have a few questions. Aside from all the stress, how excited are you, and what are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, I am excited. I'm definitely excited. Looking forward to winning it. I'm like we're gonna win. I'm so like obviously you got to be confident, um, but making sure we do what we need to do to win. Really excited. You know, playing against, you know, a couple of my club players that I coach are playing for other teams. Good getting one over on them, and you know, and taking it to them on the field in that aspect. Um, and then just obviously the sixes format again. I had my own first experience of coaching the sixes team. I managed to work with British Lacrosse and managed to get a scrimmage team to play against them in their preparations a couple of weeks ago, which was great. And you know, we did a good job actually in that game, and I definitely learned a lot then in terms of sixes. And I've got, you know, more ideas to try and to implement, and new ideas and, you know, game plans and structures and stuff, and principles that I'm excited to, you know, give a go on the weekend. So yeah, looking forward to it.
We've mentioned Ryan Hunns is the captain. I was just wondering why you decided to choose him as the captain. What qualities does he have that you think make a good captain?
Yeah, knowing Ryan for years, obviously playing against him for years, I know exactly what he's like on the pitch. First of all, and the standards he sets as a player, utmost in, you know, performance as well as leadership skills. Is the, you know, I know what he brings to the table. He's obviously part of the British squad. He's probably got him and a couple others on the roster have definitely got the most exposure to sixes lacrosse. So it's, you know, I'd be stupid not to pick one of those. And also he was, you know, part of Team Rise before, and won the championship before last year. So I think, you know, he pretty much picks himself in that aspect. And then, like I said, you know, I've been to a couple of British lacrosse sessions where I've watched, observed, um, and tried to pick up things to implement at the fly. And Ryan there, he's definitely shows his leadership skills from when I've seen in team huddles. I know what he's like, and I've seen those skills firsthand at a sixes event as well. I just know he's the right man for the job, and he's had a lot of success in the past, whether it's been sixes or field. I want to continue that success, so that's why I've chose him.
And just a bit more about you personally as a coach. What is your style of play? What can we expect from one of your teams?
Yeah, so style of play really. I'm obviously a true believer in, you know, hard work, that hard work and never giving up. You know, playing to that final whistle. Obviously, I won't accept people not pulling the weight as such. So I'm definitely a team that fights for everything, plays the final whistle, I won't give anything away easy. I won't tolerate that. And then in terms of like, I've got quite I've got quite big personality as well. That definitely shows amongst the players. You'll see that, some sort of, like I said, not long since been playing with most of these guys. It's sort of finding the right ground of being a coach and a player. I'm sort of in the middle at the minute where I'm still stepping in and out of both, sort of in terms of banter and having a good time. But yeah, a bit of having a laugh with my team and just having a good time and enjoying the occasion, as long as we're working hard on that field and doing everything we need to do to win. So.
And last one from me. What made you want to be a coach in general, not just a coach at the Fly, but what's made you want to make that step?
That's so yeah, that's a really good question. Something I could talk about for a while, but couple reasons really. My profession is I'm a secondary school PE teacher, so and coaching is something I've done all my life, whether it's been cricket, tennis, lacrosse, rugby, whatever it is. I've done a lot of coaching in. So I always had in my head that as soon as I step out of the game, I will be giving back what has been put into me. I mean, that's what how I live my life. But then recently we stopped sort of in the position where we were struggling for a coach, sort of thing, or not struggling for someone to commit 100%. So that's when I decided to take it upon myself that I can be that 100% guy. When I put my mind to something, I'll put everything into it. So yeah, that's why I decided I'm just gonna step down, be a coach, and hopefully, send the club back in the right direction, which has been good so far.